welcome everyone. This is the first episode of Evil Among Us. So the first episode is going to be based upon someone. I'm going to title this episode The Sleepover Killer. So a lot of you have probably already heard of this. It was two young girls sleeping over their best friend's house, and this man, S.A., sexually assaulted the two young women and killed the whole family and then himself. So we're going to get into this. I'm going to talk about the case. I'm going to give my perspective, my opinion at the end of this. So first we're going to dig into the background a little bit of the perpetrator, and then we're going to read about the case a little bit. And then I have a video of one of the mothers of the teens talking about the case also. And then towards the end, I'm going to talk about the case, like I said, a little bit, give my perspective. And then we're going to end it off at that. And then I want everybody to comment down below and let me know what you think about the video. Should I do more? This is the first one, so bear with me. Let's get into it. Alright, so first off, let's get into the perpetrator's background a little bit. Jesse McFadden was born in Kansas on August 24, 1983. He dropped out sometime in the 9th grade for unknown reason. While living in McAlester, Oklahoma, he began having a string of history of convictions dating back as early as 2002. He was convicted of rape the following year in 2003 and sentenced to 20 years at the Joseph Hart Correctional Center in Lexington, serving 17 years before being released in 2020, which was 85% of the total 20 years, which is mandatory in the state of Oklahoma. In 2017, while he was serving his 20-year sentence, he was accused of sexting an underage girl on the day of the shooting. He was scheduled to face trial for his 2017 offense after numerous delays. So after he was released, I'm assuming he was texting a young girl, and he was accused of texting an underage girl, and he had to go to trial for this, and this would not be good for him because he was already convicted for rape. So pretty much he will be going down for a long time if they had evidence that he was doing this, because he's not supposed to be in contact with no young girls. I'm pretty sure he would be listed under the list of sexual offenders, and he shouldn't be having contact with any underage girls. So let's talk about the case and get into that, and then we got more details. And actually, before we get into that, there was some more background on him, which basically says in 2002 he admitted to stealing over $80,000 from his grandfather and pleaded guilty to a felony grand larceny in a dwelling house. In 2003, he was caught twice driving under suspicion. In 2003, McFadden was sentenced to 20 years in prison. We already went over that. So pretty much he was doing a bunch of bad shit when he dropped out of high school in the 9th grade. So let's get into the actual case, talk about that, and then we're going to see the video of one of the young girl's mothers also talking about the case. So police say McFadden shot and killed his wife Holly McFadden, 35 years old, Holly's 3 children, Tiffany Guest, 13, Michael Mayo, 15, and Riley Allen, 17, as well as Tiffany's friend, Ivy Webster, which was 14, and Brittany Brewer, which was 15. Furthermore, he sexually assaulted Webster and Brewer. According to an autopsy report, he then killed himself. McFadden had been scheduled for a jury trial that day for further sexual offenses. The bodies were discovered hours before the trial was to begin. The Oklahoma Highway Patrol had issued an Amber Alert for Webster and Brewer only hours before. They were found among the dead. Police have stated that the shooting were perpetrated with a 9mm handgun that had been purchased by Holly in January 2002. Obviously, because he would not be able to purchase a weapon due to the fact he was a convicted felon. So pretty much that's the backstory into what happened. So McFadden, Jesse McFadden, pretty much killed 6 people on May 1st, 2023. He shot and killed 6 individuals before killing himself near the town of Henrietta. The day McFadden had been set to have trial for the other charge he had faced for texting the young female while he was already incarcerated for the earlier rape in 2013. He had served 85% of his term, which was 20 years, and he was let out. So he was deceiving everyone, according to the reports that I was reading, because one of the teen's mother was saying that the mother of the daughter of the friend, which was sleeping over, should have informed them that this man, Jesse McFadden, was indeed a sexual predator, a convicted felon. But Harley's mother had stated in an interview that her daughter did not know of the exact extent of which Jesse McFadden, was convicted of, that he had downplayed his conviction and what he was basically convicted for, and had told her lies, and she was unaware of the actual crimes that he was convicted of, which was rape. Alright, so now I'm going to play a short video that shows the mother talking about this case, her reactions when she found out about this case, which is horrific. And then she's also going to talk about things she can't talk about, stuff that she could talk about. She's going to go into details on what led to this and what was the aftermath. So let's get into it.
So anyways, Ivy and Brittany went to spend the night. So they did so, and they never came home. Jesse, the stepfather, murdered, unalived. I don't know what I'm allowed to say on TikTok. This is my first video. He essayed my daughter Ivy, as well as the other friend that spent the night, Brittany. He was due in court. We later found out he was a pedophile and hid this from a lot of people. We had no idea, and he was due to go back to prison because of his second victim that he had, and he was not going to go back. So he wanted to take out as many people as he could, so he murdered all the children, as well as his wife, and then himself. So I lost my beautiful daughter, my children, my boys lost their sister, and my husband lost his daughter. So that is the gist. I'm sorry I'm all over the place. This is my first TikTok. I will be going into more detail. I got to figure out what I'm allowed to say and what I'm not allowed to say at this point. But yes, the last night on Earth was not great. He tortured them. It was horrible. So we have what we have called the Knight's Law that we are still trying to get passed. Last year it was denied because we want pedophiles to be locked up for life. Unfortunately, our state does not like the death penalty. So we're trying to figure out what we can do, because we don't believe that they can be rehabilitated. But they shouldn't have been out. Jesse was locked up. His first victim, he did almost 20 years for what he did to her, and they released him. We had no idea about her. We had no idea about the second one, and Jesse kept slipping through the system, and unfortunately, because of what happened, he was able to take 5 kids' lives. And it's just very, very, it's not fair. I lost my baby, my best friend, and she went to a sleepover and never came home. So, and I know a lot of people say like, oh, this is why we don't let our kids have sleepovers, or, you know, always meet the parents. We did meet the parents multiple times, and what's frustrating is, you know, the mother knew. She met him in prison, and it was like okay to her, and she never said anything. So I will be making more videos. If there are some questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments. If I can answer them, I will. Please don't leave hate. I've been through it enough, and this is why I've never been on the news about it. I'm trying my best to be okay with it. Making posts, it's hard enough losing my daughter, but to hear I'm a bad mother is already, it's not something I want to hear more of. So, thanks.
So yeah, so this is a very terrible story, you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to everyone that died, obviously. So the mother and the family is trying to get some laws changed, trying to get some laws in place that don't allow certain people to come out of jail if they commit these type of crimes, which I agree with. Because once you commit these type of crimes, it's going to be pretty hard for you to change the way you are, especially stuff relating to young people and kids and stuff to that nature. After I seen this right here, it makes me even more like aware of situations and not wanting my kids to go anywhere or anyone's house and having sleepovers for sure. Even sending my son to my family's house to sleep over with my nephews and them. I was very uncomfortable with that. He went away for a couple of days. I'm grateful he came back in one piece, you know what I'm saying, which is not saying much because that's what's supposed to happen, especially if it's a friend, definitely if it's family. But like I said, they didn't know this guy was a pedophile, you know what I'm saying, was a rapist or any of these things. And the daughter had already slept over numerous times before. I'm not sure if it was before this guy came out of jail, before the mother was dating this guy, or if not. But like I said, they wasn't that dark about this guy. They had met him. They knew about him, but they wasn't really friendly with him, so they didn't really know much about him. They just knew he was there. They just knew it was the daughter's mother's boyfriend. And even the daughter's mother's boyfriend, even the daughter's mother didn't know certain things about this individual. That goes to show that you need to vet certain people, especially if you know they've been in jail. They're going to lie to you. They're going to downplay everything. But this is some sick shit. This basically turned me down even more to the idea of letting my kids sleep over anywhere or getting out the goddamn house, period, which is unfortunate because if kids go sleep over their friend's house, they should come back safe, because as I was growing up, I always slept over my cousin's house since I was 7 until I was like 15, 16, 17. I would always go over every weekend. We would play games, Xbox, PlayStation. We would play games for days, and then I'll return back home, go to school, wait for the weekend, go back over again. And I was there with my aunt, her husband, 2 of my cousins, and I would go over every weekend for about almost 10 years straight, and nothing had ever happened to me. I was safe. But yeah, like I said, she was safe with the daughter and the mother. It was just this individual on the side that was hiding in plain sight like a hyena. He was just pretty much waiting for his opportunity. And when the time came for him to answer to all the things he was doing, he was probably going to face more time in jail. He decided to pretty much end his life and take other people with him and then commit these horrific crimes against these young girls, which is sick, which I do not at all condone. Anybody that does this right here should not be living on this green earth. But yeah, comment below. Let me know what you think. This right here is something that's beyond evil. Let me know if you will still allow your kids to sleep over their friend's house. Are you going to vet the family a little more? Are you going to be more cautious? Just comment below. Let me know what you think. All in all, this is just terrible. I wouldn't wish this upon anybody. Like I said, stay tuned for another episode of Evil Among Us. I don't know if that's going to be the title going forward, but that's what I'm coming up with now. And this is the first episode, and hopefully many more to come. It's your boy. I'm out of here.